Some fun questions. So what's your favorite color?
Yellow.
Are you a morning or night person?
I have a very long day, so I'm a morning to night person.
Do you prefer the beach or the mountains?
Beach.
And would you rather have the ability to fly or be invisible?
Fly. Who wants to be invisible?
What's a random skill you wish you had?
I'd like to travel really quickly. Like I'd like to teleport myself from one country to another. I need business, so it has to be via the airport. Just faster.
Thank you. Welcome to Powerhouse with Joyce. We have a special edition of International Women's Day series. Joining us today is Mei Mei Song, the Chief Transformation Officer at Plaza Premium Group. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about your current position.
So have you used our lounges?
Yes, I have.
Okay, good. In Hong Kong or abroad?
Mostly Hong Kong.
Okay. So we are an airport hospitality company. We run services including independent airport lounges and airport hotels, airport passenger services. So it includes like buggy, porter. We've got like 27 services, and we also do F&B. So our commitment is to make travel better. We are there because we believe that travel should be a pleasure, and we find or seek conveniences so that we can make your travel better, because it's a pleasure to travel, right?
Yeah, no, amazing. I mean, I've been to the lounges in Hong Kong, including the airport. It's just a transformation in the experience. I love it. And we always spend quite a few hours at the airport before we fly.
Good. You're my target audience. I want those who spend time, right? No. So my role as Chief Transformation Officer is to ensure the sustainability and the growth of the company for the future. So I kind of base all strategies I work through with the theme of sustainability, customer experience, and technology. We're fast growing. We have 1,600 touch points around the world, and we're in over 600 airports, international and domestic, and we're in over 60 countries.
Yeah, that's so amazing. And what was the largest growth? Would it be in the last 5 to 10 years in terms of the expansion of the lounges?
I think a lot of our growth is quite organic. I mean, we are the world's biggest airport hospitality company. It's a very niche space. We're very proud because we're Hong Kong founded. No one knows that. A lot of people don't know that. Like, we're based in Hong Kong, we're headquartered in Hong Kong, and we've grown. We started in Hong Kong and Malaysia when we built the new airport. So how is our growth? I think that a lot of our growth is based on needs. So when new airports develop, when some airports have established longer transit times, we then go there and understand the passenger behavior and see how we can make your travel better.
Wow. And that's great for transiting, actually. I didn't even think of that. So those who have quite a few hours to wait, that's somewhere they can enjoy the time and relax.
Yeah. So, I mean, in Singapore, for example, we have an airport swimming pool in our hotel. So you literally get off the plane, you don't leave immigration, and you can have a swim and have a drink and then get on to your next flight. We have a lot of different experiences. Every airport's very different. So we kind of curate our experience, whether it's London Heathrow, Sabiha Gökçen in Turkey, or Canada. Like, everything is curated to enhance the customer experience.
Amazing. And just to go back a little bit, right? You started in a different industry. Maybe you can explain a little bit about that, and how did you decide to transition back to the family business?
Sure. Right after I graduated, I worked in a magazine under the Tatler brand. It was a fantastic experience. I was learning, and the best thing about the job is that you get to ask the questions. So I think there was a lot to learn. It was a magazine also going from print to digital, and just watching that transformation journey, and how, not just from an editorial point of view, but how as a publication, how they move from print to digital and try new methods, new strategies, was very, very interesting to me. So I was able to interview a lot of people, asked a lot of questions, from fashion designers to architects. It was fantastic. I went back to the family business when I was confident that I had something to contribute. There was no pressure to do so. When I felt confident that there was something that I could make impact, that's when I joined.
Wow, that's great. And then when you joined, was it in a specific group, and then you kind of took over different departments?
You know what? When I was in college, I interned there. Actually, probably in high school, I might have done some office, but I was always told, start from the bottom. If you want to grow, you want to lead, you need to understand the basics. You need to understand what the operation flow is. So I actually worked in the lounge, open shop, and then closed, and serve people, serve them coffee, respond to any requests. guests.
Yeah.
But I was always told to go the extra mile because everyone's watching.
Right.
And I have to lead by example. So
Yes.
it was a very fun experience because then I understood the logistics. I understood what customers wanted. I understood what the flow is and even the sentiment and what matters.
Right.
Yeah.
And what are the biggest challenges over the year? I'm sure there's ups and downs, but what is one memorable challenge and how do you guys get through that?
One memorable challenge. I think that the biggest challenge as a company and also personally for me would be the 3 years of COVID. So as you know, there was not a plane in the sky for 3 years and there was a lot of uncertainty. You didn't know when that plane would come back into the sky. And even how every government or airport addressed it was very different and also uncertain, right? You don't know the policies until they announce it in many cases. So as a company, it was very stressful for us. It was also stressful because we believed there was going to be a plane back in the sky one day. However, we also could not tell everyone when, right? The other thing is, you know, at that point, you're in survival mode. So you're basically finding like a lifeline, any opportunity to live and survive and not basically have the company collapse. So you would think of new ways of doing business. You would think of how to partner. And I think the biggest challenge was actually motivating everyone, right? I mean, there's so much uncertainty for me already as a business, but you have to motivate everyone because if you don't believe, no one else will believe.
Right. They're all looking to you.
Yeah. I mean, I was pregnant third year. First year, I had a newborn and I made it a point to be in the office. I know everyone's talking about work from home and all of these things, but if you want everyone to come and join you in the fight, you need to be present.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, I'm going to call in, but you guys got to go in.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, and in this business, I think you really have to be in the front line and just kind of do it together.
Yeah, it was really hard. I mean, I'd wear my airport pass and walk around and I can't even see any passengers. And yet my team is petrified. They're in a mask. They're scared for their health. They're scared for their families. And you have to motivate and you say, hey, you know, good job. Thank you for coming. It's not easy.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's everywhere too, right? I mean, with the pandemic, it's not just certain locations, it's kind of pretty much around the world with so many locations, right? So that's really tough. Wow.
And we're taking phone calls 3 a.m. because you're not flying. So the business has to continue. So what do? You take phone calls 2 a.m., 3 a.m. with the States. It doesn't stop. Yeah.
Wow. And coming off that then, obviously things are improving, luckily. And how do you see the growth from there? Like, is it very exponential or do you still have to do quite a lot to rebuild and, you know, get it back up running?
Have you traveled recently?
Yes.
Okay. That's good news. Okay. So I think travel has really picked up. I think behavior in travel is shifting, whether people are flying short haul, long haul, how people are traveling for business, how people are traveling for leisure, what kind of airlines they're taking. All of that has shifted very much. Last year was a year for normalization, but this year is the year of growth, right? So very much there's a lot of growth opportunities. And I think we just announced that we're opening in Egypt. We're also developing in Riyadh. I'm very, very hopeful. And I think that the future for travel is very positive.
Wow, amazing. And for those new locations, let's say, or additional new locations, what are some of the evaluation criteria or how do you decide on what are the next places to have lounges?
Well, we're not only focused on lounges, so we also do airport passenger services. Our expansion is on top 100 airports. So where we see that there is significant growth or growth opportunity, that's where we go.
And what are the next ones then? Oh, you mentioned a couple that you're opening. Are there other ones that you can mention?
Yes, lots. To be honest, we're opening around the world. Hotels and lounges and airport passenger services from Canada to US to Brazil, Middle East and big one, to North Asia, actually just around the world because everyone's traveling.
Yes. So it's all opening up again. So that's great news.
Yeah.
And it's great, as you mentioned, it seems like it's, you know, the experience is different from before and people are expecting something different. Oh, so there's a good way to be able to make changes and kind of be in the forefront and influence that. Do you feel there's specific direction or is it more incorporation with tech or anything that is pushing the experiences more?
I think in general, right, a person's profile, so like how you travel by yourself with your husband or with your child, I think your needs are very different, right? What location you're going to, which airline you're flying. So I think what it is, it's the personalization and also being able to create an experience for somebody. And maybe it's the same person, but depending on, you know, how they're traveling and what they're doing. So,
and the life stage as well, right? So as you said, like they just got married, so it might be different. And
yes. And personalizing is very important.
Right. And, it's a family business. Is there any specific role models that you look towards when you have your entrepreneur hat on?
I think in general, mentors and role model for women are very, very important. Actually, everyone is very important, especially when you're growing your career. These are people with different experience, different perspective. I think that my parents were probably my role model. Till today, they're still my role model. How they persevere, how they push boundaries, how they think out of the box. Their discipline, the way they approach work. I think these are things I learned from them. And I hope I can make them proud.
Yes. And what legacy do you hope to leave?
I think I'm still too young to be like, oh, what kind of legacy?
Yeah,
I think what I would say is that I hope to make an impact, right? I think what's really, really important is I want to make sure the time I spend or the work that I do, I can make an impact into travel. And I think that's part of why I do what I do, because I know that by creating this experience, it'll make an impact or a change to someone's travel experience. I think impact is really important, and finding purpose in the impact is important.
For sure. Yeah. And finally, any advice? Could be general, or someone that wants to start a business or get into the travel industry. What advice would you like to leave for the audience?
I think always taking feedback. That's funny. So yesterday I was at a panel. Sitting next to me were people that were very wise, like learngarngan. In Chinese, we call them.
Yep.
And it was funny. I mean, I said to them, I think there are a few things, I suppose. The first thing is look at things from broader. Like in Chinese, we say tai fu di, right? And then when we do things, tai sam di, go deeper, right? Work hard. Like you can be talented, but no one is successful from not working hard. There's no replacing that. And then also listen. I think listening is really critical. Some people react, and if someone says something negative, they're like, oh, how dare they say that? Right. But think about it differently. Think about it like someone's putting money in your bank. Like they're giving you feedback. So listen to it and see what you make of it. Some people would not even tell you to your face, right? You'd rather have it to your face. So
that's true.
I think listening is really important.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.